Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
Oh shit, we back.
Mamma mia, here we go again.
I'm so glad that that is the energy that we are bringing to the space.
Yeah.
I would like to say, just as a collective, start off the space with this energy.
Sure.
Can we make a collective agreement? Us, everyone listening in the space, can we all stop supporting and also using the fucking Meryl Streep sad mom song on TikTok? Because, hi, what up? Welcome into the Twilight. My name's Allie. I have mom issues. Can you stop it? Because
can we just cut it out?
Y'all need to stop, because I go on TikTok to laugh and sometimes cry. It depends on what I'm looking for. But I don't need to be assaulted with mom issues on TikTok.
I like to have that choice, you know?
I like to have that choice. And I don't need that as my Mamma Mia content on a day-to-day basis.
Right. When there's so much joy that could be utilized.
I agree.
Yeah.
When it could be Amanda Seyfried crawling on the beach.
Right.
When it could be my three dads shaking their ass. Yeah. Instead, and you give me the saddest fucking part of Mamma Mia too? Right. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I refuse.
No. Too much, guys.
If there was a way to just report those videos and report that sound, not just like an offensive, just that audio, and be like, it is not offensive.
I just would like not to see it.
It is not offensive to any like group. It does not have like a hate crime attached to it. It just makes me sad, and I don't want to see it again. Yeah. It is offensive to me personally because of the memories that brings up, but it is not a hate crime. Right. And I need it to stop. How many people feel that way about this show, honestly?
Oh my God.
The stuff that you talk about is not offensive by nature, but it does need to stop.
But I just don't like it. Please.
Hi, and that should be enough. This is offensive and it needs to stop.
Yeah. And we never will.
We won't.
We will keep going.
Unfortunately, and I don't know what this is, but authors keep writing offensive stuff that needs to stop.
It's true.
Unfortunately,
we will never be free.
Some fucking blood pact that we signed, we will never be set free from this audio medium. Yeah. We will be stuck in the confines of Audacity until the ends of time.
And here's the thing. If you don't like it, you're allowed to go. We cannot leave. We are trapped here.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, we are the soul that we are collectively trapped in. The one brain cell that we have is stuck in Audacity. Yeah. We can't leave. You can leave. Right. Please leave.
Get out while you can.
We can't leave.
Yeah.
But anyways, hello.
Welcome.
Cody, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I was worried for a moment because we're in sort of like the summery transition or whatever, and that means ice cream trucks are all around my neighborhood, and one is literally like on my block, and the sound that it makes right yes, honestly, but like it's not even like that I can see it, but I can hear it. Even if my windows are closed, even if all the doors are closed, I can hear it, and it's a very chaotic ice cream truck song, and it was going up until maybe 5 minutes ago, so I was worried. I'm like, you could hear.
Is it the Six Flags song, like the fucking Venga Bus?
It has that vibe to it. There's like horns in it. There's weird little instrument. It's one of these days I'll record it and play it, but it is really a treat. But that is not my happy thing. My happy thing, I want to talk about Miss Billie Eilish.
God bless.
God bless. Doing her thing. Coming out with a new album, new look, new cover of Vogue.
God damn that cover, though.
It's incredible. And, like, there's a lot of bullshit discourse about it. I think it's pretty silly.
All started by that bot.
Right, yeah, right, exactly. It's like, can we just use our brains a little bit and think about the image of a pop icon and a teenager for, like, a moment, please? And, like, agency. Can we just, like, think about that for a moment before we just spew whatever nonsense we're talking about?
100%.
All the photos are fabulous. The story is great. I'm very excited for the album. But something that really tickled my fancy when I was reading it is that while she, in the middle of her having her hair dyed already, and before releasing it to the world, she had a last minute, like, video interview or something that she had to do, and she's like, fuck. Like, and her fancy, like, wig based on her old hair had not come in yet.
Oh,
so
no.
She literally bought a Billie Eilish Halloween costume on Amazon and wore that wig for this thing. And that really is incredible.
A mood.
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm a huge fan.
The discourse of that really pissed me off. But one of the things I loved a lot about the photos of that, aside from the actual clothing, was the color palette.
Oh, yeah.
That was used. Her hair is great, and, like, everyone's comments on her, like, don't matter, and that's very clear of, like...
Yeah, right.
Like, she doesn't give a shit. But I think one of the things that really stood out to me about the creative team of, like, I don't know, there's probably, like, 15 people or more probably that go into that, not just, like, the photographer and the creative people that dress her and stuff. But the color palette really stood out to me.
Yeah.
In that, because I'm used to Billie in, it's like her green hair and a lot of, like, grays and, like, cooler tones, and it was really warm and soft, which I thought was quite beautiful.
Yeah.
So I loved that, and it was very pretty. So I liked that.
Go Billie.
Go Billie.
How are you doing, my dear?
I'm doing great. I'm having a hard time imagining anything else right now other than you in a Western standoff with your ice cream machine. So if someone could draw that to get it out of my head, that would be great.
Yes.
That would be just amazing for me. So thank you. I am doing okay. I am, aside from, I've had to go outside more so than in the past couple weeks, just for, like, very standard appointments from things. Getting new contacts and a contact prescription, and, like, fucking getting cavities, like, you know, like, boring stuff like that. Yeah. But I hadn't needed to do that in quite some time, and so I'm suffering from that good old mask knee, which is very annoying.
Ooh, very fun.
That I haven't had in a while, so that's been a joy. But my happy thing for this week is something that I saw a couple weeks ago when I saw some of our journalist friends getting a screener for this. But it is Mitchell's vs. the Machines.
Ooh.
And the Mitchell's vs. the Machines is something that I saw on Netflix last weekend. Not Spawn, but Netflix. Hey, I can be bought.
Hello.
And I'm happy to be bought by you. This is a joy. I can definitely see that this should have been, like, on the regular movie theaters, like...
Right.
Should have been on the big screen.
The old big screen.
This is that, like, Sony Pictures good shit. This is that, like, Into the Spider-Verse Lego movie.
Yes.
And something that really caught my attention while watching this, aside from the fact that, like, it is hilarious. And it is apparently for my partner anyways, and for the average person, it's not a tearjerker. When I was looking on Twitter, people who are parents, it was a tearjerker, so I felt a little bit more validated, but I cried during it.
Yeah.
But it was very funny. Is something that caught my attention while watching this is it has that very Sony Pictures style while watching it. And it's so fun to watch those, of just how visually entertaining it is.
Right.
And that was something that I loved about Into the Spider-Verse, is just, like, it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
So if you have a chance, if you have Netflix, I would highly recommend watching it. Because I saw something about Netflix that they're doing like a movie every week or something.
Every week. Yep. The whole year.
I worry that with that, this movie might just get like forgotten about.
Right.
And this is something that if it was just in the theaters, I feel like it would be a blockbuster.
Oh, for sure.
Just because of the cast alone, but also because it's a very good, like, family-friendly movie.
Totally, yeah.
And so I just highly recommend it. If you need something that is just I'm going to watch a movie that's going to make me laugh and forget about things for a while, this is a good one to do.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, we have 2 current events this week. Short, nice. Sweet.
Yes.
Good shit. We have an update to our a current event from last week. Would you like to share this since you brought it to the space?
Absolutely. So last week we talked about how our wife, Dakota Johnson, our liar of limes herself, was cast in the Netflix adaptation of Jane Austen's Persuasion.
So much Netflix this week. You'd think
I
we
know.
were sponsored.
You'd think. Netflix. DMs are open.
Hello. I will happily sell my soul.
Absolutely. But we got a new casting update in the fact that she's going to be acting alongside Mr. Henry Golding.
I'm literally going to pass out.
I'm horny.
When I saw this news, I could not tell you that when Netflix should have just been looking me in the face and was like, I'm just going to pick Allie's types and just put them together.
Yeah.
When I find out that there's like a fucking side character to this that is just a like fucking genderqueer butch in this, yeah. I'm going to shoot myself into the sun. I'm going to
It's gonna be like
pass out.
Tignataro and you're gonna die. You're just
okay. I was literally gonna say, like, we share one brain cell.
Listen, if they can edit Tignataro in an entire movie,
can you fucking imagine
put her
Tignataro in Persuasion? I would die. I would die.
Yeah.
I literally have full body chills right now. We need to stop talking about this.
Anyway, this is gonna be the sexiest movie in a minute.
I have a heart condition. We can't keep talking about this. It's not okay. I love this. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
Especially because the last 2 movies I was really thinking about him in were Crazy Rich Asians and the Sad Ghost Christmas movie.
Oh, White Christmas or something like that?
Which obviously was called, I'm just going to quickly type in Sad Ghost Christmas movie, which is all of them. It's all the movies. Last Christmas, obviously.
Last Christmas, for sure. We got that in one.
Where he had a chance to kind of like test out humor in both.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited.
Hell yeah.
I gotta stop looking at his face. It's gonna make me
you gotta close the tab.
Anyways, I'm very excited. This is less of an update of Twilight news and more of a like, we knew this, but now it is just like a confirmation.
Yeah.
We have a lovely piece here from Cheat Sheet, friend of the pod.
Yes, welcome back.
And this is which Twilight cast member has never read the books before. Just go ahead and cast your votes in now. We'll let those tabulate. Have Ryan Seacrest present that information.
Yeah.
It, of course, folks, say it with us, was obviously Billy Burke.
Obviously.
The thing
and like, good for him.
Like,
you know?
Of course.
He's a busy man.
He's a busy man.
It's a lot of books.
As we have recently learned, he grew up in Bellingham. He is a native to the Pacific Northwest.
Yep.
I would imagine that he drew on a lot of family members for his character of a dad in the Pacific Northwest.
Right.
Who
it's like, I live this life. I know this life.
Like, he knows this life of just being a dad who likes to fish and drink beer and watch the Mariners. Like, not a lot of research needed to delve into that character.
Yeah.
I don't know why he would have needed the books to understand that
accurately
more.
channel that energy.
When they had learned this information, it was from an interview in 2008, which by that point, I think all of the books had been out, and he was like, I haven't read all of, all of them. He's like, I read bits and pieces of Twilight when we were making it, but I just, not really that good of a reader. I don't need to sit down and, read through an entire book.
Right.
He's
I
like,
got it.
I got
Thanks.
it, yeah. He's like, I heard that, Charlie's in New Moon a little bit more, but, I'm pretty sure I got this character down.
I think I'm good. Thank you, though.
Which, for not having read it, I think he did a pretty damn good job. So,
yeah.
I think he's all right. Yeah. God bless him, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good job.
Good for him. Fuck it. Do your thing.
I would love to present you.
Oh, no.
And get your thoughts on an email that we received.
Yeah.
This is an email from Emily, and the title of this is Nosferatu Plot Hole. It reads, Hey, Cody and Allie. So, I'm re-listening to the podcast from the beginning.
Jesus Christ.
And I noticed something. In episode 14, Your Honor, it doesn't say Cody was the first one. I'm just imagining a fucking pointer on one of those tri boards. Just
listen, I played a lot of Ace Attorney in the last couple months. I know what I'm getting myself into now. I get it.
Episode... In episode 14, Cody was the first one to say that Nosferatu can get it. Timestamp is 2550.
Oh, God.
And then Allie talks about how she doesn't want to think of Nosferatu in a sexual way. All I'm saying is I want to know when and why the roles reversed. Please discuss.
Oh my God. Do you have this pulled up? Should I pull this up so we can pull back the tapes? I feel like that's only fair. Okay.
Even as old as he was, fucking Nosferatu couldn't get it. I literally am ending this podcast right now. I am gonna have nightmares for a week.
Okay. So that is revealing.
Who are those people, first of all?
Right, first of all, what the fuck? Who are those children? Wow.
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 This is the problem with sharing one brain cell.
Yeah. Here's the thing. That's wild.
I don't know.
I'm also as confused as Emily into how the baton was tossed, because you really grabbed it and took hold with it into a personal brand.
I did.
For a moment. You really went full into the Nosferatu is sexy. So did you harbor that over the course of this podcast?
I guess.
It must have been.
You know what? Here's what I've learned from this moment. People change.
Listen, if there's anything... Your Honor,
what
I'm
I've
a different man than I
learned
was.
from this, Emily, is Emily took the idea of not fact-checking us and said, what if, though?
Hear me out.
Hear me out. What if I do fact-check you, though?
You know what? This was a fact check for the greater good. I think this is important to set the record straight, and I think this makes sense, and I applaud you. Thank you for bringing this to our attention.
While we've been discussing this, I have been looking at photos of Nosferatu. Just to really marinate on it.
Right, yeah, for sure. No
And
other reasons,
just to,
no sexual reasons.
Just to really think about it and decide is that right?
Can he get it?
Is he worth getting it? You know?
Right, sure. Yeah.
And I think the jury's still out. You know?
Okay, sure.
Because I, this whole time, thought that I said that.
Yeah, same. Absolutely. Wow. This is our version of the Mandela effect.
Honest to God.
We've been going on so long that we have our own Mandela effect.
And I am honestly a little bit fucked up about this. I gotta close this tab. Because low-key, like, the more I look at it, the more that it's, like, fucking me up a little bit. More than anything, beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Sure.
I do, here's what I will say, though. If Nosferatu just showed up in my fucking doorway and was just standing there, I do think that I would just kick his ass.
So you would fight Nosferatu?
I don't think that my instant reaction would be like, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Like, I want some of that. I do think I would just be like, if I just turned around right now, and Nosferatu was just like standing there, mouth breathing, I think I would fight him.
Yeah.
I think that in that context, Nosferatu can get it. That is the way that I am going to say Nosferatu can get it in this context moving forward. Is like,
Nosferatu can get these hands.
Nosferatu can get these hands. That is what I'm going to say moving forward.
Yeah, we're rebranding it.
Absolutely. So thank you for providing that context.
Absolutely. Thank you for calling us in, and really like allowing us to address our past mistakes.
Oh my God. Oh, I do think I will be having nightmares about Nosferatu.
Hey, that's fair.
I can't wait to kick his ass someday.
New life goal. Kick Nosferatu's ass.
That is going to be like my Scott Pilgrim moment. It's just like, just fucking. It's gonna be 7. My version of Scott Pilgrim, is going to be like 7 evil vampires. It's just gonna be 7 versions of vampires. I agree, Spooks. I think it's going to be very cinematic.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, we have a backstory to get to.
Hell yeah.
I confirmed that we could use this person's name.
Cool.
So this is from Michaela.
Nice.
Hello, Michaela. The title of their email was just hi with a smiley face, which I thought was very pure. So, hello to you too. First of all, I'm obsessed with y'all. Second of all, I have a Twilight backstory for you. But I also have the memory of a particularly unintelligent gerbil. So I'll just include the highlights of that experience so you can paraphrase where it is needed. I'm guessing that I started reading the books when Walmart started carrying copies, but before the movie covers came out, which was when I was in middle school and at the prime time for unrealistic expectations of romance.
Yeah.
I know that this is paraphrasing, Michaela. I'm not going to put words in your mouth. I know that movie covers are specifically like capitalism, but can we just collectively say fuck it to those?
Stop.
They're so gross. They're never
Nobody
good.
ever wants them.
Nobody does.
Wants that version.
God, they always end up in thrift stores. Nobody wants them.
Always.
It's so disgusting. I instantly became obsessed with the books, and looking back, some of it probably had to do with me relating to Bella, a shy, pale, brown-haired girl who just wasn't like other girls. Same. One year for my birthday, we had it at my aunt and uncle's house, so several members of my extended family and my mom were there to see me open a giant poster of Edward Cullen glaring and wearing that damn peacoat.
Hell yeah.
Amazing. I love to think that, like most people we've had email in so far, it was like behind your bed so you would kiss it before you go to sleep.
Right. Yeah.
That is my personal belief. Okay, I finally got to go into a Hot Topic, a store I wanted to go shop in but was too afraid to ask my mom to go because she still bought my clothes. Because my friends and I wanted to get Twilight t-shirts to wear to the Sadie Hawkins dance. That was
powerful energy.
That's a big mood.
Yeah.
That was the first and last time my school had a Sadie Hawkins dance because some 8th graders showed up drunk, but I personally had the time of my life wearing an I Heart Vampires t-shirt, swaying in a circle with a bunch of other middle school girls during the slow songs.
Wow.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you for that imagery. Today, I can't write 300 words without becoming emotionally exhausted. In my first Twilight phase, I wrote 100,000 plus word fan fictions just for the love of the game.
Wow. Yes.
Oh, Michaela, God bless you. I almost threw up watching the first Twilight movie in theaters because the only seats available were in the front row. So
God.
So as Bella was writhing on the floor of the ballet studio, I was trying my damnness not to throw up everywhere. God bless you.
Wow.
God bless you. Okay. I fell out of my Twilight phase when the other fantasy/dystopia books with brown-eyed heroines became more relevant, but then people started making memes about Twilight, and it unlocked that joy I had when I was obsessed with it in middle school, and when my depression and anxiety hadn't completely manifested yet. I have since watched the Twilight movies at least once a month since last August because my friend read the books for the first time and also became obsessed with the hot mess. Okay, bye. XOXO Gossip Girl.
Incredible.
Amazing. Thank you, Michaela. God, the idea of going back into a movie theater and sitting in that front row, is
With
strong.
all the motion in that movie, too, I would
Jesus.
so throw up. Like,
100%.
with your neck cracked up, like, oh, God.
The idea of watching any movie in the front row brings back very strong middle school energy to me.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the only movies I have ever watched in the front row of in a movie theater
Yeah.
were one, Avatar.
Oh, God.
Where I swear to God, I felt like I was gonna die the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
And two, this was in more of a, like, smaller movie theater, so there weren't as many seats, but First Man. And I also thought I was going to lose it, because it was just like, where am I? The front row of movie theater seats should not exist. Like, it's...
No. Just get rid of the row. Just get rid of it.
100%. There's no film that can be properly viewed that way.
No
There's,
way.
no thank you. It's a hard pass. We have some wild stuff to talk about in the host this week.
It's heating up, baby.
It is. The last time that we were talking about it, it was getting into Stephanie's like niche, which is Ocean's 11 energy. Right. Which I would have never suspected when I first started reading her content in like middle school, that the best stuff that she writes is like suspense.
Yeah, for sure.
I would love to read something of like a heist from her.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah.
Because it's somehow, especially because she loves writing about freeways for some reason.
Yeah. She loves cars and freeways.
Give that woman a chance to write about like a heist where there are cars swerving on freeways, and I feel like she would love it.
Yeah, for sure.
But she will never do it. I don't get it. It's so weird. Anyways, the last time that we were all together, it sounds like we were fucking making s'mores together, but it's fine.
We were sitting around the fire.
Exactly. Talking about our fucking battle with the Volturi tomorrow. Wander had like wide-armed a shelf of all very normal written prescription medication at the fucking Soul Hospital.
The Soul Hospital, yeah.
Exactly. And was just waiting for the healers to come back in, assuming that all hell was going to break loose. But as we know, Stephanie, the Queen of Subtlety, starts chapter 45, and the title of it is Succeeded. So
nice. So a little spoiler, I guess.
Yeah.
What's to come.
So everything goes well, and we're done here. So thank you to our patrons, and we're out.
We won.
It's great. Oddly enough, the book actually ends at 69%. So it's kind of weird and unprecedented, but it's okay. It's, it happens sometimes. When this chapter starts, the healers come back in. They hand Wander water, and it's like all good to go. Everything's great.
Hell yeah.
Like, they hand over a mirror, and Wanda does have a very slight, prolonged existential crisis.
Yeah.
It's just a very normal existential crisis that you have when you are on pain medication.
Yeah.
Of, like, hey, it's been what I would imagine is like months at this point, since you have looked at yourself.
Right. And about
in the
any
mirror.
Care.
Right. You have not been taking care of yourself. You've been through immense amount of trauma at this point.
Physical, emotional,
right,
spiritual.
Just a bingo board of trauma at this point. And now that you have physically been patched up a little bit, you are able to recognize yourself a little bit and see the like soul that you are. And Wander's just like, oh, fuck. What if I, maybe I do have a calling somewhere. Maybe I could go back and like be a teacher again.
Maybe I told life.
Yeah, like I told them that I worked at a Mexican restaurant. Maybe I could go do that.
Right. Wander is doing that song from Mulan. It's like, who are you?
Literally.
What's my future hold?
Christina Aguilera's just like back there like, just like, just screaming.
Yeah.
Whereas Melanie inside, like also looking at herself in the mirror, is just like pointing at her like figurative wrist, like, hello, my brother. Hello?
We have things to do still.
That person that you also treat like a brother that you say you care about, dying. Hello.
Yeah. Let's go.
Exactly. We gotta go. Hello. Yeah. Just like, remember who you are. You gotta go. There is this like slight moment here where Wander has to make a decision. Like, you could stay here because it is late. You could stay at this hospital. You could go somewhere else. And then Stephanie makes it seem like there is supposed to be tension here. Mm-hmm. There is not any. Because it is very clear that Wander cares about not just Jamie, but Melanie and Jared, like cares about these people, these humans, more than themselves.
Right.
And has said so, not just for like the past couple chapters, but like for most of this text at this point.
Right. Pretty consistently.
Right. Like, and that is like the whole point that Stephanie is writing about here.
Right.
And so a Wanderer is able to, with no problem, get out with the backpack and go into the parking lot. Can I just say?
Please.
Listen, the souls and their methods of taking over humanity, not great.
Yeah.
Right? Do we as humanity, have we been taking care of Earth? No. None.
No.
None good.
Yeah.
Can I just say, there are a lot of things that these souls are doing right.
Sure, yeah.
There was no insurance needed here.
Yeah.
There were no bills.
No. Oh, you're just good. You're sick?
No one came in.
You need medicine?
While Wander was in immense trauma and pain and was like, hey, can you confirm your address? Right. What insurance do you use? Hey, I know that you are bent over in immense pain, but can you pay for this right now? Like, they've got some shit figured out.
Right. They got the efficiencies
exactly
on lockdown, for sure.
Wanda was like, came in, got it all taken care of, left, no payments needed. Done. Great.
Easy breezy, beautiful.
Cover girl. Got a lot of sponsors this show. Anyways, so Jared is shocked by this whole thing.
Yeah.
Not just that, like, that Wanda made it, but also that the healers, like, saw Wanda out and waved. And that seemed to be the most unsettling part for Jared. But of course they get out, everything's fine. It does seem to be, there is a point throughout this that the, Jared mentions the Seekers. So I'm still assuming that that is the point that Stephanie is trying to make, that, like, things won't go well in the end. But as far as now, things seem to be fine.
Right. Especially
because the fact that Jared did not expect this to go as easily as it did. And it is, like, good with all of this. Like, does not need to blindfold Wanda on the way back.
Right.
And is, like, laughing and is, like, super happy.
We're having a great time.
Exactly.
I'm here with my friend Wanda. We're having a little road trip.
Yeah. I'm just imagining, like, all of the, like, jovial sitcom music from the, like, late 90s playing in the background here. Like, this is just a real good time.
Yeah.
Because any lingering doubts that I imagine Jared had are gone. especially because in this most literal moment, Wanda put her life on the line. You know, like very literally proved their loyalty here.
Right. So explicitly.
Exactly. And has before.
Right.
But this is like, I don't know if it needed to be like this grandiose, but it you know, it happened here. So
Yeah.
One of the things I think we mentioned last time was the concern of like how the two of them were going to get back. And I was very thankful personally when I was reading this chapter that Jared made the concerted effort that when they switched vehicles, he was like, fuck it, we're not going to run the 10 miles back.
We're not going to Naruto run back.
Exactly.
Blindfolded up.
Like, Jamie's life matters more. We're going to take the other vehicle, and we're just going to park it inside the cave. Like, we will figure that out later.
Right.
It is more valuable that Jamie is alive in this moment.
Yeah.
The thing that it seemed like the rest of this chapter was more concerned about, obviously, was, shit, we need to figure out what the rest of the community is going to do now that they obviously know that we are gone and we have the gun. So, yikes.
Yeah.
And Wanda was very concerned of like, oh, well, I'll just blindfold myself. It doesn't matter anymore, like, at this point, like, but it's at least like a semantic that they can say, I don't know what at least it looks like out here.
Right.
Even though it is dark.
Yeah.
So sure, whatever. And so it seemed like more effort that Jared had to like carry them blindfolded during all of this. Right. Especially because the way that it's described, Wanda's like like very confused, only hears yelling until they're like right in front of Jamie. But you know, whatever, like if it means if it means making it easier for everyone else. But it's very clear that once they're in front of Jamie, that everyone else in the community is very frustrated and confused. Right. And concerned, like, obviously for their livelihood. And so I don't want to be sympathetic towards them, especially when throughout all of this they've not been terrible. They've been incredibly unsympathetic towards Wanda throughout all of this. They've all been incredibly flat characters. I'll say that.
Totally.
Like, the only personality traits I feel like for 85% of this community has just been like, rawr.
Yes. Just
you're gonna,
angry.
Exactly. Like, you are gonna put us in danger and not considering any other factors involved.
Right.
So, whatever. Like,
it's fine.
Exactly. The interesting point for the rest of this, though, is like once Jared is like literally holding back Sharon, and I think like I want to say her daughter or whatever, people that have made no point of being anything in this. It's like Maggie or something, like people that don't even matter in this book.
Right.
When Wanda is able to actually like take care of Junie. And
it's
Wanda,
like, what we all doing, huh?
Exactly. Like,
all you do is talk shit.
And Wanda essentially has to, like, yell at Doc and is like, dude, I know that you don't trust these, like, foreign medicines, but look at my face. Look at how much, like, physically different and healed I look. I want you to trust me and just listen to what I have to say.
Yeah.
We don't have time. Exactly. Like, Jamie's gonna die no matter what. So why don't we try these?
Yeah.
You are a doctor. Like, you have a moral responsibility to do no harm. So, like, let's go.
Yeah.
And so they start trying these out. And, of course, they work. And Doc's like, oh, my God, what? Magic.
Medicine?
Medicine works?
What?
And it's annoying that, of course, when they actually listen to Wanda, shit works. Like, hello?
Interesting how that works out. Huh.
And so that by the end of the chapter, when they're like, Jamie's fever starts to go down. Jamie is like physically starting to look better. So now they are actually taking care of his leg. That is, of course, when Jamie wakes up and is like, hello? What the fuck is going on? Which, same kid, I also would be very confused. So I feel for him a lot in the next chapter, because this is the point where, like, Jamie is very understandably confused.
Right.
And he starts to, like, sit up and he's like, why is everyone in my room?
Give me some space.
I am a teenager and you are all standing around me and looking at me. I am feeling too seen right now. I did not ask any of you to observe me. What is happening? Yeah. And so, of course, at this point, like, they have given Jamie pain medicine. So when they start to, like, actually cut into his injury and make sure that it is no longer infected, he doesn't feel it, which is good. Also, hey, Stephanie, could you cut it out with the gore? What is that?
She wants it so bad. She wants to be a horror writer so bad, but she'll just, like, instead spice in some, like, blood and guts and all that stuff in very other contexts.
She does, and it's not even it isn't horror in any sense. It's just, like, vaguely medical.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And it makes sense in this context, but yeah, it's very odd sometimes. Yeah. That it comes off not necessarily medical, but not horror. It's a very weird blend between the two. Very weird. Stephanie, figure it out. Get your shit together. I do love the idea that the last medicine that Wanda uses to heal scars is one that has glitter in it. It's a very interesting touch from the from the aliens, that all of the rest of these seem very, like, medically sound and very sterile and very clean. But one of the aliens was like, okay, but for the scars though, Gary,
it's gotta sparkle.
It has to sparkle, and I'm not bending on that.
This is a deal breaker, Gary.
You didn't let me put sparkles in any of the other ones. I swear to God, we have to have them in here.
I did not get my PhD and go to med school and do all these things for you not to, like, hear me out on this, all right?
It's gotta be pretty, goddammit. I just love the fact that, like, Stephanie has to have a quota for a lot of things in each of her books.
Absolutely.
But, like, like, you know, it is a Stephanie Meyer trademark product if it has a sparkle in it.
Yes.
I love
it. Love a little, having a little tell, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, I love a good glistening powder, you know? So, anyways, after all of this, Jamie seems to be at least, like, healing. He is no longer dying, anyways.
Yeah.
I just love to think that if this was, like, if you were playing this in The Sims, the Grim Reaper would just be like, and then just, like, would start to leave at this point. Yeah. But anyways, the last 2 flat characters in here, I think it's Maggie and her daughter Sharon, are just like, how dare you? How dare you? How dare you take care of this boy with your alien witchcraft? And it's just very confusing. There's a lot of talk at this point, now that the, like, crisis has been averted, about how the actual raid went. And so Jared starts to do a lot of gloating at this time about Wander, which is, I think, very warranted. Wander did a great job.
Totally, yeah. Hype Wander up, because nobody else will. And
Absolutely.
Wander for sure won't.
Wander absolutely will not. No one else will do it for Wander.
Yeah.
And one of the things I think that starts a main source of conflict in this chapter is when Wander has to explain how they got into the healing clinic.
Right.
Which is asking... when they asked Jared for the injury from the rock, as well as having to stab themselves with a knife. Yeah. Jamie thought that was cool as hell.
Was like,
sick, love that, great job.
Very cool. Very resourceful. Love to see it.
Ian had a conniption fit.
Yeah.
And was like, what did you have? A knife? And lost it.
Yeah.
It did not go well. So this was the main source of conflict that they continued to refer back to even when there were celebrations. The celebrations that evening were when Jeb brought in a portable stove and dehydrated meals.
Whoa. Feast time, baby.
Feast time of spaghetti.
Ooh.
And garlic chicken.
Yes.
And so they got very happy on some dehydrated meals, and everyone
We're eating good tonight. Yes.
Everyone was super happy. Everyone was up late having some good supper. Everyone was just laying about, very happy, very excited. And the chapter essentially ends with what I can only describe as like everyone at the end of a party essentially like laying on each other in a circle buzzed, except for that they're not like buzzed from alcohol, they're just buzzed from dehydrated meals.
From good old-fashioned cooking.
Exactly. And the end of this chapter is just like what I can only describe as like people talking when they're like just about to fall asleep.
Oh yeah.
Like
it had big sleepover whisper vibes.
It did. It was like sleepover whispers. Like everyone is having their own conversation and they're all like, everyone is asleep on top of each other. Like everyone has an arm on each other's like leg or stomach. And it was just, it gave off very strong, like, there's something about Stephanie loving like a wolf pack. It comes off like she grew up with a lot of siblings, I think is what this is.
Yeah.
And it was very odd. Like, it was the most like unsexual sexual thing.
Yeah.
But like just with a little bit of sex in there. Like,
right.
Cuz it and anyways, but just very odd energy to end this chapter on.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyways, but the chapter ended with a lot of that like very full, very sleepy sleepover whisper energy.
Yeah.
So I am assuming next chapters are when we are going to get into the conflict, but I've been saying that for a long time.
Right.
And knowing Stephanie,
one of these days we're going to get it.
Knowing Stephanie, it's going to be literally like 20 pages before the end of the book. I have no idea at this point. So we'll see. But we have a lot of fantastic patrons to thank this week. Would you like to start?
Absolutely. Shout out to Mallory Hardwick.
Thank you to Katie Black.
Thank you, Kylie Minty.
Thank you to Alex Dornan.
Thank you to Carrie Goldberg.
Thank you to Mickey Meyer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yes. Shout out Rebecca Cullen.
Thank you to Marge Gray.
Mulch. Shout out Taylor Brown Town Lautner.
Thank you to Jasmine Anastasia.
Whoa. Yeah. Shout out Bailey Christian.
Thank you to Jay Molina.
Thank you to Cassandra Bomer.
Thank you to Toussaint Wander.
Yes. Shout out Kristen Strider.
Thank you to Julia Stewart.
Thank you to Megan Pattinson. Oh.
Thank you to Maddie Facinelli.
Woo! Yeah. Shout out Kelly Beck.
My mom.
The mom. Everyone's mom.
Thank you to Sophia Salinger.
Ooh. Yeah. Shout out India Peach.
Thank you to Casey Yorkie.
Thank you to Sarah Blythe.
And last but not least, thank you to Laura Forty.
Ow! Yeah!
All right, I have a fan fiction for you
Exciting.
today. This is from, oh god, Shinigami Lover 2. That's probably not said that way, but that's okay. This is titled Welcome to the New Age.
Wow. Oh, God.
And this was published on August 2nd of 2013. Here's what I'm going to say. This is a crossover of the host and a different property.
Uh-huh.
I am not going to tell you which property it is. Because I think if I tell you it, I know that you're going to get mad at me.
Oh, no.
And I think that when I read it, I think that you will know what it is.
Oh, God.
What I will say, just to give you some context, because I'm afraid, I know that you'll know it, but it's a Pixar property.
Okay.
So I'm going to be reading from a section from chapter 1 of this fanfiction. Okay. 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 Oh, I'm so nervous. Okay. I just know you're going to be mad.
No.
All right. You stay away from me, you freak, Sully said with a growl. A pair of arms grabbed Sully from behind, and he couldn't move his arms in the grip of this other man's body lock. Stay away! Stay away! Sully began to freak out and struggle in the other human's grasp. The man in front of him then held the metal spray bar up in his face and pressed the button. Sully then began to feel woozy and fell to the ground. Good work. Let's get him to the healer so we can begin the transfer. The man who sprayed Sully said, Yes, Seeker, as you wish. The human who held Sully still said with a smile and nod. The Seeker who helped the other man picked Sully up and carried him out of the room. Meanwhile, on the other side of the closet door, Mike was tapping his foot with his arms crossed and had an angry look in his eyes. Sully, I'm not in the mood for playing games anymore. Come out, and come out now, Mike said in a tone that said himself that he was obviously annoyed with his friend. All right, that's it. I'm coming in to get you out of there, he shouted. Mike walked to the door and opened it to see Sully being taken away by two humans who attacked him. Mike shut the door with a widened eye and began to shout. End scene.
Why put those things? For what purpose was this author compelled to write this?
I don't know. There's only, and this is what honestly got me very confused, is there was only one crossover between Monsters, Inc. and the host, and I was just honestly very concerned, and also a little bit curious.
Yeah, honestly, I think we were robbed of a Wander cameo and put that thing back where it came from, or so help me.
Oh my god. Absolutely. 100%.
You know what? If they ever get back in the game of writing, we got some ideas.
Listen, Pixar, we have some thoughts.
Hey.
So that's...
Wow.
Listen, I rarely choose good fanfic. But sometimes I know what to find. All right?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Right. Yeah. I appreciate it.
Anyways, folks, here's what we've learned this week. I
love this new segment. Just reflecting a little bit. All right.
Nosferatu can only be touched with kicks, not with caresses, not with kisses, just with strong hands.
Strong fighting energy.
Strong fighting energy.
We're doing a hard rebrand, a hard pivot.
Exactly. Wow. I won't go so far as to say fuck Nosferatu. I'm just saying that we, fighting energy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Anyways. I think that's fair.
Anyways. As we say here in the Pacific Northwest.
Get bit.
And get whipped.
Not by Nosferatu, though.
No.
Into the Twilight is an Earbud Media production. Our theme music is by Eli Krauss, and our artwork is by Maddie Padilla. Follow the show on Twitter at Into the Twilight, and support us on Patreon at patreon.com/intothetwilight. Send us an email or a fanfiction at intothetwilightshow@gmail.com. You can find Allie at Into Wild Places and me at Cody Curl.
You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media, audio for everyone.